Let me reveal to you guys the single daily process that actually ensures your coaching consulting business grows every single week without all the chaos, without all the guesswork and the unpredictability of where your next clients are coming from. Because I'd imagine right now, if you're watching this video, you are probably making a little bit of money, maybe 4K a month, maybe 8K, maybe 15K a month. But you've got this constant agitation and stress on your shoulders because you still can't see that predictable scale just edging up like steps every single week, every single month. And it's still guesswork on whether you're going to hit the same income next month. And you've already gone and you've invested in things, you've got bits of knowledge, you've got all these ideas, but no matter how much you consume, no matter how much you try, you feel like you're just plateaued and you're in this prison wall no matter how much you do. And guys, I have been there, but I can assure you, you're really not that far away. You don't have a you problem. It's not necessarily your ideas, it's not necessarily some of the knowledge you've gone and acquired. It's the fact that you have a sequencing and an execution of the hierarchy essentially on what needs to get done and in what order and at what level it needs to get done. Because once you master this, you are actually so close. Like you've got this whole almost circle right now of information, of ideas, of knowledge, and you've got this task list of 100 things, 100 ways you could improve your product, 100 ways you can go and acquire new customers and clients. And you're like, where do I even start? You're like, do I try and run paid ads? Do I try and make this type of content? Do I go try and make these vlogs? Do I try and do cold outreach? Do I try and do this? And it's just chaos, right? You've probably read all Hormozy's books, then you've gone and you've watched some Andrew fucking Tate and you've heard the complete opposite. Everything's just a bit like, right, can we now just put this into an actual hierarchy of sequence of what is going to make your business grow 1% better tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the day after? Because once you master sequencing and hierarchy, when you're actually executing the most important, then the next, and the next, and the next, you will grow. And it's a very smooth, calm process. And this is exactly what I'm going to show you guys today. And if anything is responsible for me building a 7-figure coaching consultant brand in 2 offers, it is this daily process. 100%. So right now, like I said, you've probably got this huge task list of 100 things, and you kind of just wake up and there's no predictability in your routine and how you go about acquiring clients and what you do with your time. Therefore, there's no predictability in what's coming in. You've got this task list of random stuff, and sometimes you get this shiny object and you pivot that way and you lose focus. This is all you need to do. Okay? As a coach, this is all I tell all my clients to do, and this is how they go and make, whether they're just starting a brand and they're making 5K in their first week or whether they're scaling to 75K a month. It's the same daily process that I'm giving everyone at every level. Like what is correct is correct. Okay? So I would just have it like this. Now, depending on, let's say maybe you're not even full-time yet, you can just crush this down slightly in terms of time, but the ratio of exactly what I'm saying is going to apply. So, for example, right now, let's just imagine you are someone, you've got your brand, you are full-time online, you've got a solid amount of knowledge and ideas, but nothing is really scaling. This is what you need to do, okay? You're going to have this. I'm going to just show you my day. Nine a.m. till 1 p.m. Morning block. I'm going to put blueprint on the number 1 most leverage. I'm going to come back round. And then in the afternoon, you might have 2 p.m. till 6 p.m. Obviously, you can do the math there. There's 1 hour gap in the middle where you may go get some sun, you may go have some lunch, whatever. All right. Obviously, before that, that's where I train. That's where I have and go through my morning process and chill with the dogs and with my missus for a few hours. That's all done in the morning. Again, after 6 p.m., I just do whatever the fuck I want, right? Maybe I go out for dinner. Maybe we have food delivered. Maybe, again, chill with the dogs. Maybe I go on another walk. Maybe I go get an infrared sauna. Again, that's entirely up to you out of this. Now, if you are working in another business or another job at the minute and you don't have 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon, like this is the most potent blueprint I'm giving you right now. You could just do 1 hour in the morning, one in the afternoon. It's the ratio I'm showing you, okay? And I'm going to call this task list. Very simple. Okay, so I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. I'm not gonna try and figure things out with it. I'm just gonna tell you, right? The number one thing that is gonna grow your business as a coach is content, especially evergreen content that's gonna be there forever, that's gonna be there like a library. Okay. So you should have, don't go and do like, if it doesn't matter what offer you have, I don't care what niche you're in, don't do client fulfillment in the morning, right? All of my client fulfillment comes in the afternoon. The morning, basically 7 days a week, predictably, you should be focusing on growth. Too many people don't really know what grows their business. And then if they do one day do it, it's just one day. You need to work on the number one high leverage for growth in your business that compounds your business, and do that every single day. This is how you get exponentially leagues ahead of everybody. Okay, so if you're building a coaching consultant business, I would say you need 4 hours every morning where you would be working on a YouTube and you would be working on an Instagram. Okay. So it might be, for example, if you've got 4 hours in that time, you might get one video, long form, and you might get 2 times posts done in 4 hours. So that's your blueprint. Okay. This is literally what I would tell my clients to run. Now there's depth behind that. 2 people can run the same blueprint, and one can make 5K a day and the other can make nothing. Okay. But content is the highest lever. You've just got to get good at it. You've got to understand human psychology. You've got to understand sales and marketing at a very high level, so you can make sure the types of content is mastered, so that for every YouTube video you put out, for example, for every Instagram post you put out, it's all going to be actually selling. You need to make content that actually makes people buy. That's another story in itself. Okay. But the morning, every single day, what I do is between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. right now, for one of my channels, I got multiple channels with different offers. Right now, I am making content. I'm in my 4-hour window in the morning where I'm just ticking off one of these boxes. Okay. And then I'd have my Instagram and I'd have 2 posts around a specific outcome that I want to happen from those posts. And I go to work on making those happen. Again, all you then need to do is execute your blueprint daily. Every day. If you want to go out on a Saturday afternoon, go out after 1 p.m. after your growth. So no matter what day it is, no matter what is happening, I do this every day. If I'm taking a day off, I hate days off. If I'm taking a day off, I still have done my growth. Like, this always gets done. If I want to go out and I want to go to the beach club with my missus and I want to take her out for dinner, I will still do this in the morning. Sometimes I might even pull it and do it from 5 a.m. till 9 a.m. Okay, especially if it's like a rest day and I'm not training in the gym as hard. So I always get this 4 hours of growth done. They're non-negotiable as a coach, especially full-time online, 4 hours content. Okay. Now, 2 posts for a short form platform, 1 post for a YouTube. Even like with YouTube, it could be it could be 3 to 7 a week, because depending on the type of videos you're making, you might go Monday, plan it for 2 hours, Tuesday, film it for 2 hours, Wednesday, plan it for 2 hours, Thursday, film it for 2 hours. Or you might just be able to plan and film all in those 2 hours, and then the other 2 hours you put on Instagram, etc. Usually I would allow 3 hours to YouTube, 1 hour to Instagram. But either way, you're going to be doing 4 hours content. Whether that means you actually film, I don't care, but you have devoted 4 hours of 100% focus to your content every single day. There's no client check-ins, there's no client calls. It's intentional content every single morning, structured in a way that makes people buy. Don't just come in and tick the blueprint. Make sure you're creating content that actually makes people buy. This is what you have to master. This is also how you have predictable inbounds every single day with the right buyer traffic, with people who are ready to buy. Like I said, I have built my 2 coaching offers, or 2 of them, to 7 figures with no sales calls, with no ads, just from running this blueprint in a morning and understanding how I can sell in my content and help people make the best decision for themselves moving forward. And I don't have to do any sales calls. It's all inbound. I'm not even doing DMs in this time. Okay. This is literally all people coming to me. Okay. They're going into my link, they're watching the video, they're pressing the apply link, they're coming through and they speak with me and they come straight into the program and then they crush it and they get elite results. That also means I'm only working with high caliber people who take action, because all of the lower caliber people who don't take action are still fanning around. So I'm working with extremely committed people. What does that also mean? It means that I get great results with all my clients. Okay, because highly committed people who just take action and they get over their fears, they understand it's what they need to do. They come in, they take action, they do the same on everything inside. For example, in my brand, they come in, they take action on it, and they're just sending me wins within the first couple of days. I had someone last week send me a win of $9,000 cash collected within 48 hours of joining brand, because he'd just come in, bought straight in, and already actioned it. And it was before we've even done our onboarding call. He'd just got into the course part. Okay. We hadn't even done any of the one-to-ones. We hadn't even done any of the group masterminds together. He'd jumped into the course, which is the full 7-figure blueprint, and he'd taken action on it and already made 9K cash collecting, implementing exactly basically how I told him to create his content specifically to sell in the content and then close through the chat. Right? This is what creating good content does. It allows you to get buyer traffic, qualified buyers who take action, who get good results, and now gives me testimonials. That's what your morning needs to be. Only content. Don't get distracted. Imagine you've got one pipe with 100 liters of water. You want all 100 liters of water to come out the other end of that pipe. And also, guys, this means you're building this library. So in 2 years, this content is still there. In 3 years, this content is still there. And you're just putting more out. Plus, these platforms are going to go find you this buyer traffic when you craft it correctly. And once you've made the videos, which takes people through that process, it's just a free lead system. You're essentially getting paid to get leads. It's the only thing anybody should be focusing on until they hit 100K a month. Don't run ads until you made 100K a month. It's just a drain of money. So that's your morning content, and that's it. Run this blueprint. I would literally just run this blueprint here, but then you need to get good at doing it, because two people can run the same blueprint and don't make money. But this is the number one highest leverage thing you can do. Don't give leads to anywhere else. Don't even do sales calls, because if you're doing sales calls, right now you're speaking with one person when you could have been making content that speaks to hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people doing the same thing in the content when you know how to piece it. This is why I got exponentially further ahead of my competition every single week, because they were dispersing in low leverage tasks and I was just focused on the highest leverage task and mastering it at the highest level of consciousness in that task. Nobody can keep up. And everybody who doesn't do this, they get absolutely left behind, because the people who do this just get steeper up that exponential curve. You know, the curve goes like this. The people who have been doing this blueprint, 4 hours of content and getting better at it every single day on how to make content actually sells, they're just steeper up that curve whilst everyone else is just floating around. And they always have to come to it. If they want to scale to a very high level and they want to have that predictable, calm business, they always have to start this one day, but then they may start it in 3 years, but then they still have that flat part, and now the other guys is straight up that steep line. That's the morning. In the afternoon, task list. So this is where you're going to have your 100 ideas, okay? I'm also going to add to this fulfillment, okay? So let's say you've got like maybe one of your coaching offers, one of the tiers is more like consultancy. You've got calls, or you may have to give client feedback, or maybe you've got like group mastermind calls like some of my programs have. Whatever it is in terms of your delivery of your programs, this has to come in the afternoon. So if I was on one-on-one black room, or I was doing custom built work where I'm actually hands-on building, like partnering with someone's business and doing it for them, whether it's a group mastermind call, whether it's a one-on-one consultancy call, it doesn't matter. I'm doing this stuff in the afternoons. And I actually only do that on just a few days a week, so that I have days where I can just work on these things. Okay. So I may say, like, fulfillment, I might keep to 2 to 3 days a week. Okay. And then between that fulfillment, right, when I'm doing fulfillment, it's only in the afternoon. So I've always done this. Maybe I do fulfillment on 3 afternoons a week. But then maybe on all of those afternoons, I still have 2 hours spare. Okay. We've still got 2 hours. Well, in those 2 hours, now I come to this list. But this whole list of all these ideas you have, you don't just see something and go do it. You put them on a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to however many you've got. In hierarchy is what is the most highest leverage thing in order that when done will have the biggest impact on cash collected, the biggest impact on results, the biggest impact on business growth, and make everything else work. So, for example, maybe you've got fulfillment and you're like, right, I've finished 3 calls and it's 4 p.m. And you go, right, well, you don't stop working, guys. This is the process. You run like you're employed for yourself. So you've got to 4 p.m. and you got 2 hours now. The other days, you may have the full 2 to 6 p.m. working on this task list. Maybe you've got script to VSL, okay? Because that's extremely high leverage, because if you script to VSL, that means that when you've mastered this one thing, that is then on your landing page forever, and that's selling for you. That's working for you like a machine, a predictable machine that doesn't use any more manual labor. Once you've built it once, it's built. You just have to build it at a high level, otherwise it messes you up. You build it, it's like a machine, and now it's working for you, and that means you're going to get more leads. It means your leads are going to be more qualified. It means they're going to be more ready to buy, and therefore you're going to probably add another 20% to even 200% extra leads and income in your business from just a VSL. So that would be a very high leverage thing. So maybe script it, then film draft 1, and it may be film final, and then it may be add new course videos to, if you've got a program like a coaching program, but you give them like a full course with it or something as well. Maybe in here might be then hire a videographer. You get the gist. You've got a hierarchy of these based on where you are. And the best way to know where you are and what order to do them is just get around someone who's already followed all the steps you're trying to go down. And like for me, especially when I have like the mastermind calls and the one-on-one calls with clients, I just look at exactly where they are and I go, right, this is where you are. This is where you are. You're in chapter 7 right now. You want to get to chapter 100. Let's not do chapter 99 right now, which is going to burn you and you're going to have to come back. I'm going to tell you what is the chapter 8, the 9, the 10, and you just follow in a sequence. So the best way to actually know what to do and have the clarity and the confidence and the self-belief to go and action it is just get around someone that's already done it. That's all I do. I just get around someone who's, for example, my next goal is I want to make $1 million a month through my coaching and consulting, like a month, not a year. And all I do is I invest in people who have done that and way more. And I just go, look, this is my current stuff. Analyze it, meet me where I'm at. What are my next steps? And then I put it in a list. I work on my morning blueprint every single day. And then between fulfillment, I come back and I just execute my list at the highest level of consciousness and ability and go smash it. And then I'm just constantly growing. So I've got daily growth in the morning blueprint. And all I need to do is execute that and just get 1% more consciousness and better at it every day. How do you do that? Again, you master it. You get around people who have already mastered that part. And then in the afternoon, it's just do some fulfillment and then get to the task list. But don't just have this all jumbled around all day and just create absolute chaos. One, in your diary, because there's so many gaps and you don't know what you're doing, and then changing tasks, it's just wasting so much time. But that also creates unpredictability, and that's going to make you low frequency, and then you're going to feel down, and then your self-belief's low. So you want to keep it really simple. Just get around someone who's already done it, have clarity. It's like if I gave you a shovel and then I gave that guy a shovel over there and I told you just dig for as long as possible, and I told that guy over there dig for as long as possible, but I want you to know that in 4 days you're going to hit gold and you're going to find $5 million, and it means you're never going to have to work again. You can provide for your family and give them the best life ever. I think we both know that you're more likely to stop. And even if you didn't stop, that guy's going to be running in a higher frequency with confidence. He's not going to stop. He's going to be high energy. He's going to get to the goal and take it, even if you were going to the same pile. You have to understand that clarity is the highest form of self-belief. Once you have a blueprint, I've just told you the outline of the blueprint. You've got to become a master of that blueprint, make sure it works, and then just run it and keep running it every day and never miss on that for the next year, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years. Just imagine how good you'll be and how potent your content will be when you've learned how to do that and you've been doing it every day. Then you're only working through everything once that's done in order. And then throughout all the day, guys, then like in the morning while I'm at the gym at like 5, 6 a.m., I've got like inbounds coming through on my phone all the time that just come into my CRM. I just reply, I just see where they're at, I help them see if they're going to be a good fit, and then I just send them over the link to start if they are a good fit. And I also do that between 6 and 10 p.m. when I go to bed on a night, just while I'm having dinner, while I'm in a restaurant. All my sales is just done in the spare time. Morning, compound growth of content. Afternoon, fulfillment and task list. Here is just my own personal growth in the morning. It's my gym, it's my mindset, my morning process, and doing some sales in between all that, or while I'm between sets in the gym. That's where like when I'm in the gym, I've usually made £5,000 just sat in the gym. Like this is the easy part. Don't go running at that through the day. But this is because I'm running this machine with part 1 of my day, part 2. So start running at everything, get everything in sequence, get everything in hierarchy, and execute it with clarity and give it your best every single day. This is how you create a predictable, calm business. And just consistent work will get you leagues above everyone else because it's compounding like steps. Let's go. If you guys need a hand with any of this, like implementing what order you need to do it or how to even execute certain parts so you can get that full outcome, you can just check the link below and then we can have a chat on there and just help you from where you're at right now to where you want to be and at least give you clarity on what that would look like moving forward. Let's get it. Let's go. See you in the next video, guys.